होमज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं राधा कृष्णा पादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषु भिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 7, verse number 37. So we read that Krishna, he showed the universe inside his mouth to Mother Yashoda, and Mother Yashoda did not think that this is something coming from my child, but she was confused, bewildered. What is this? She was not having any feeling that this child is something powerful or has some extra powers like that. So this verse describes Saviksha Vishwam Sahasa Rajan Sanjata Vepatuhu Sammilya Mriga Shavakshi Netrayasit Suvismita. So Sahasa Vishwam Viksha Sa Sanjata Vepatuhu. So suddenly when she saw the universe inside the mouth of baby Krishna, then she was startled. Jatavepto, she was like trembling. What is this? And because of that, she closed her eyes. Sammilya mriga shavakshi netre. So she is compared that her eyes are like the eyes of a deer cub. And she was very surprised seeing this, that what is this? So she was not able to make head and tail out of it. And the only thought was that maybe this is some other problem is going to come now or what. Because all this, already few problems have come. And now this, so she thought, is it also another problem coming? That's why she was surprised and she closed eyes as if she was praying. As Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur will comment. So this is the last sloka of this chapter. It is Śrīmad Bhāgavate Mahapurane Brahma Sutra Bhāshe Paramhansyam Samhitayam Vaiyasikyam Dasam Skande Trinavarta Moksho Nam Saptamodhyaya. So commentary Sahasa Akasmat Yugpacha. So Sahasa means that it happened suddenly. There was nothing, he was just drinking milk and then he stopped. Pita Prayasya said that almost when he finished, and then as if he was tired. So all this happened simultaneously. Sanjata Veptu Utpata Shankaya. So she trembled. Why did she tremble? Because she thought that now some another calamity is going to befall on him. Because all these things happened, big storm came, and then this cart breaking, and now this is, what is this? So Sammilya Sri Vishnu Dhyanartham Bhagavan Narayana Raksha Raksha. So she closed the eyes as if she was thinking of Bhagavan Vishnu and praying to him that, oh Bhagavan Narayana, please protect my child. Matsutas tasmad utpatatiti. That protect my son, asmad utpatat. That some kind of calamity or some problem is coming, please protect him. So vitrasta drishtitvat mriga shavakshi. And because she had that fearful look on her face, therefore she is called here as mriga shavakshi, like the cub of a deer in the forest looking around. You know, there is always some danger there, somebody can attack. Especially if you see the small deer, they are afraid. So that's the meaning of mriga shavakshi. So now he has compiled few slokas. Putnadi vadhaishwaryam na prema samuchu kuchat pratyut vardhayat tasmin arishta pratishankaya nanda bhagyadi hetuna tatra bhudyadi kalpanam tato nirheturevayam aishwari shaktiragata विभूत्य दर्शिका कृष्ण देहस्य स्फुटमेव हि तथापि विस्मिता एवासीद् मत्पुत्रस्य इदमद्य किम् नत्वा ऐश्य ज्ञान सम्भ्रान्त्या वात्सल्ये स्थिलाभवत् न चात्र सम्भवेत् किञ्चित् पूर्वधेतुकल्पनम् तच्चापि वस्तुतो गाढः प्रेमोर्मिमयमेव हि इति निष्कम्पता प्रेम्णः ख्यापिता स्यान् मुहुर्मुहुः. So Putnadhivad Aishwaryam na prema samachu kuchat. So Krishna, he killed Putna. So this did not diminish Yashoda's love for Krishna. Diminishing in the sense that she did not think that he is some godly person or some has yogic powers or extraordinary, nothing like that. She continued to think of him as her own small baby. Rather, pratyuta avardhyat tasmin arishta pratishankaya. Rather, her love for him increased than before. That this small baby, he needs more protection. Instead of thinking that he is powerful, because if she would think that he is God, then she would think he doesn't need any protection, and she will leave him free, that he can do whatever he likes to do, he can take care of himself. No, now she was more doting on him, more careful, observing all the time. So her love therefore increased because of thinking that some more problem can come and I have to protect him. Nanda bhagyadi hetu nam tatra bhudi yadi kalpanam tato nirhetu revayam ashvaro shaktiragata. So she thought that this child has been protected because of the good fortune of Nanda Maharaj. Not that he has some power. Earlier also they thought like that we must have done some tapasya in our past life. So that's the reason that he got saved. So then we have to understand that nirhatur evayam ashvari shakti ragata, that this divine power, this supreme power which came to protect, it came just like that. Vibhutta darshika Krishna dehasya sputam evahi. And because now she saw this all-pervading power which came and manifested in his mouth. So she did not know what is the cause of this. Putana was killed, Saktasura, they did not know that there was a Saktasura, but he was protected from the cart. And then this Trinavarta. But now why is this happening? So this is nirhetuka. That there is no tato nirhetureva yam ashvari shakti ragata. So this Ashwari Shakti, this divine power, had just come for no reason. Vibhutva Darshika Krishna Dehasya Sputam Evahi. Says we don't know, but somehow it has come. Because you have to find some reason for something. Human mind always thinks like this. If something falls down, then you think, why did it fall down? Right? There must be some reason, because gravity already discovered by Newton. So now why it is falling down? Newton was thinking about apple falling down. So mind always thinks. So she has to think now why this happened now. Previously it happened because of Nanda Bhagya, because of good fortune of my husband. But what is this? So he says that for this is, we don't know. So tathapi vishmita eva ashin mat putra seda madhyakim. So she did not think why he is writing this, that she did not think that he is the cause of it. That it is Krishna who is causing this. So that's what she did not think. So she is saying this is nirhetu, causeless. Sometimes some things happen just like that. But it did happen clearly. Sputam evahi, cannot be denied. So therefore she was still surprised that why is it happening. So tathapi vishmita eva ashin putrasya idam adyakim, that what is going to happen to my son. All this. So natu asya jnana sambhrantya vatsalye sthila bhavat. So she did not get asya jnana, means thinking that he is having some superhuman power. She did not think like that. And therefore her feeling of vatsalya did not diminish, did not become slack. If she would have thought that he has got some supreme power, then she would not worry. Then she will think it's okay. So that was not her thinking. Na chatra sambhavet kinchit purvad hetu kalpanam. And now she cannot think of the previous cause which she thought, killing of Putana and breaking of the cart, etc. So there they thought that it is our good fortune because we have done some austerity. Therefore he is saved. So now what? So it was very difficult now to think in this particular situation. So even then she did not think that it is because of his own power. Tachapi vastuto gadha premormi mayamevai iti niskampata premne khyapita syan muhurmu. So basically this happened only, this Aishwarya or this Shakti of Krishna wanted to prove to people that how great is Yashoda, that how deep, how intense, how supreme is the love of Mother Yashoda, that even after seeing all this, she is not thinking that my son is having some extraordinary power. He is some god or he is some avatar. These days somebody does little bit of thing and immediately they declare he is an avatar, right? So this is opposite of that. People are very keen to declare somebody as avatar, and immediately there is a crowd ready to worship. So if my avatar is not there, then they start making the Ganesh deity drink milk. Even if he doesn't want to drink, they force. Then make a video. Then immediately crowds start coming to your house. So this is all to show the intense love. This is basically Sukadeva Goswami who is describing this to King Parikshit. And he wants to show that how wonderful is Yashoda and how great is her love for Sri Krishna. That's what he wants to establish. That's what he is going to speak in chapter number 9. So that is the intention here, and that's why Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is commenting like that. He is seeing it that way. Evam cha, so in this way, prema devya parikshartham aganchantyantara shaktiresha hare kintu tayada shikrita bhavet. So he says that in this way, the various powers of Hari or Krishna, they are coming to test Prem Devi. Prem Devya parikshartham agachanti antarantara. So one after another, these instances are happening to test the prema of Mother Yashoda, or to show that how prema is superior to Aishwarya. So therefore, kintu taya dasi krita bhavet. So they are coming and testing, but then they surrender to the Prema Devi and become her servants. So it says that is the meaning of this. past time. Why? It's trying to analyze why did it happen. So this is the end of this chapter. Any question on this?
Here the phrase prema devya, that can mean either an abstract sense of prema or a reference to Mother Yashoda.
What do you mean by abstract?
Like as another Shakti of Krishna that these other Shaktis are coming to show the power of.
So why you think it is abstract? Why do you extract the abstract meaning?
I just mean abstract in the sense of not referent to a specific person, but as a Shakti.
Yeah, you can apply both ways. That either you can say that this is about Yashoda or it is about Yashoda's prema. So it works both ways.
And then when it says dasi krita, so the sense that the Shaktis are coming, testing, and then ultimately being made into servants of.
Means she reigns supreme. She did not become timid in front of them and then, oh, Krishna is great. Like that. So, means the prema did not diminish. So the Shaktis could not change the mood of Yashoda. So that means Yashoda still remained as she was. Her love remained same. So that means the Shakti could not influence. So in that sense. Means now they are just coming and playing, entertaining her. In that sense.
May I ask a question?
Where are you?
I'm in the office.
Okay.
The question is that in Bhāgavata it was explained that the ahankar of Shri Krishna in Vrindavan instead of a cowherd boy. Now, it's difficult to imagine that Krishna is showing the entire universes inside him. Then how can at the same time how can he maintain his ahankar that he's a cowherd boy? Because this is clearly seems to be that he's saying he's Ishvara.
But did you read anywhere that he is showing it?
No, she saw it.
So why is it that he is showing it?
But isn't it the same thing?
If you see, then doesn't mean that I am showing it. Maybe somebody else is showing it. That's why he is saying that this Shakti of Hari came to test. He did not say that Krishna is testing. Krishna is not testing. Krishna wants to show how great is my mom. So that's why he says that Sa Viksha Vishwam Sahasa Rajan Sanjata Vepato Vishmita. So he did not think that Krishna is saying. Nowhere he said that Krishna showed it. He says that she saw. Right? She saw it. So he's not thinking, Ishvara, let me show this. That's why he did not become big or anything. He was still lying in her lap. He was still on laptop. Right? Yeah.
Could you please translate again the Sanjata Vepatu?
Vepatu, Vepatu means shaking. And Sanjata means happening.
So who was shaking?
Yashoda. Sanjata Vepatu. Sa Sanjata Vepatu.
Okay. And it's not dual number? So that's some two persons, no?
No. Why do?
thought it's.
Why do you think it is dual?
I thought it's adhokshaja.
No, it's not. That's not. The word veftu is the noun.
Okay. It's not a verb.
No. Verb is already there. Sanjata. Sanjata veftu yasmin sa. That who trembled. That is sanjata veftu. Sanjata veftu sa Visvam. Sanjata veftu is just means trembling. Here it's Bahuri Samas. That's why Sanjata is there, otherwise how Sanjata will come there? It's like if you say Krita Japa, means one who has done Japa. So Sanjata means to whom it happened. What happened is Vepatho. Vepatho means tremble. This thu is not the thu you are thinking of, athus. Nalathus. It's not that one. Okay, chapter number 8. We are making progress. There are 90 chapters. So this chapter I will describe the name giving ceremony of Krishna. So this happened very late. Generally name giving ceremony is done 6th, 10th, 11th, 12th, something like that. But quite early. Generally on 6th day, in some places 10th day. That's when you do the ceremony of giving name. So generally it is known as Chati. So there is a famous saying in Hindi, Chati ka doodh yaad dila diya. So why is it like that? Is a special milk is fed on 6th or what? ऐसे उड़िया में बोलते हैं क्या? छठी का दूध याद आ गया. So it means that when you get somebody in trouble, then he says that I made him remember the milk he drank on the 6th day of his birth. So means on that day it's probably very comfortable position. So 6th day is generally given, and the name is given, and they say Bai Mata comes and writes on the forehead of the child. But because 6th day the Brahman comes and makes the horoscope. That is the day they cast horoscope. So Krishna's horoscope was casted after 100 days. So very late. So now he is going back. What he explained, that Putana came on 7th day, then came Shaktasura, which was on 81st day. Then he described Trinavarta, that was on 1 year. So now he is going back, because name giving ceremony already happened. So he was in the flow. So first he described that. So I think Jiva Goswami writes that Sukadeva Goswami first wanted to show the Aishwarya part, Putana killing, Shaktasura breaking, Trinavarta, and now he comes to the Madhurya part. So he comes name giving, then he will describe Krishna playing in mud, playing with the calves, then breaking the pot. So he will shift into that gear. So it's not chronological. In other words, what he is speaking now, something which already happened. So he says, Shri Shuka Vacha Garga Purohito Rajan Yadunam Sumahatapaha Vrajam Jagamanandasya Vasudeva Prachoditaha So Gargacharya, he was the Purohita. Purohita means the family guru. In India, every family would have guru, the Brahmana. So whenever they have to do any ceremony, etc., then they will come. Birth of a child, name giving, marriage, other samskaras, mundana samskara, vidyadhyan, etc. So these are done by family guru. So he is called Purohita. So Purohita literally means he always thinks of the welfare of the family. He is like a guide. Like these days you may have family doctor or family counselor. So they were like that in India. Because previously there were no like life coach. These days you have life coach, you have counselors, therapists, all these things. All this was done by Purohita. Because they will know the mantras, they will know Ayurveda, they will know Jyotish. All these practical sciences were known to them. The Vedas are there, and then there are Upavedas. So Ayurveda, Jyotish, these are Upavedas. So they were known to them. So they were practical guides. They may not necessarily be talking about spirituality, but in general how to lead life, anything they have to consult. People used to consult. In the village, I have to buy a cow, I want to buy a buffalo. Let's ask Panditji, Guruji, our Purohit, what is the good Muhurta. People were very, very much into Jyotish in the olden time. Now people have forgotten, but Jyotish is the Chakshu of Veda. It is the eye. Because so many things which are happening in our life, they are being influenced by our past karma. Many things are fixed, so it is better to know them. They may not be 100% fixed, but more or less things are going to happen in that particular way. So therefore Jyotish is a very practical science. Just like now we have weather forecast. This meteorological department, they forecast 1 week in advance, 2 weeks in advance, this will happen, this hurricane is coming now. So then you prepare yourself, close your houses. Sometimes they have to vacate, and the heavy, strong hurricane is going to hit the land. So Jyotish was like that. They used to also predict rains by Jyotish. Now they have the data collected, and from that and the pressure, how it is fluctuating. So previously everything was controlled or known through the grihas and nakshatra. So whether this year is going to be good for crop, all the farming was also based on Jyotish. So they will predict, well, this time the rain will not be good. Put this kind of seed which does not need more water, because this like irrigation was not done so much, there was no electricity. So people depended mainly on rain. So there are two types of farming. One is called Nadi Matrika, other is called Dev Matrika. Right? Amarkosh? You remember these two words?
I've not studied so much.
But you remember these two words?
Yeah,
So Dev Matrika means where farming is dependent on rain. Deva is a general word for devas, but Deva is also specifically used for Indra. So Dev Matrika. And the other is Nadi Matrika, where you do your farming by irrigating the land from the river. So rivers are not everywhere. So mostly the farming depended on rain. Now rains are not always same. Sometimes less, sometimes more. We see this all the rainy season, how they are not fixed. They are very different each year. So they will predict it, and correspondingly the farmers will do the farming. Now all this science has been forgotten. There are a lot of books available on this itself. I have some. There was very intricate calculations done for rain, and they were very accurate about it. predicting it. Now it may sound very unscientific, but it was very scientific how they calculated it. There was mathematics for that. So Gargacharya is a very great astrologer. So therefore it says Garga Purohito Rajan Yadunam Su Mahatapa. He was very austere, tapasvi. So astrology is not just based on the Graha and Nakshatra, but also sixth sense. So that comes by tapasya. So he is the Purohit of the Yadus. Just like Vasishtha is the Purohit of Bhagavan Ram. So Surya Vans. So here it is Pandavas, they had their Purohit, Dhaumya Muni. That was their Purohit. When they went to forest, he also went with them. Dhaumya is the one who asked them to worship Surya and get this Akshaya Patra. That is another thing, it is not Akshaya Patra. That is a wrong word. It is Akshaya. There are two Y's. Akshaya Patra is a wrong, it is a asadhu shabda. Sadhu shabda is Akshaya. So he is the one who gave them the mantra, and then sun god appeared and gave them this pot. So that is how he is a Purohita. Shukracharya is the Purohita of Asuras, Brihaspati is Purohit for the Indra. So that's why Shukracharya was doing welfare to Bali. He says, don't listen to him. He is coming from the other side. He is coming, he is going to take everything from you. So that's why he is Purohita. So Agni Mile Purohitam. That is the first mantra of Rig Veda. Purohita word is used there. So Agni is also called Agni because he is the first who does Purohita. Put into the fire. He is also called Purohita. So he is Yadunam Purohita Gargacharya and Vrajam Jagama Nandasya. So he came to Vraja of Nanda Maharaj. Why did he come? Vasudeva Prachodita. So Vasudeva sent him. Because this name giving ceremony has to be done already, time has passed. It was not done at the birth time, and now 3 months have passed. So this happened after Shakata Bhanjan Leela, after the breaking of the Shakata. So on 100th day. So he went to him quietly and he said that please do this. And he explained to him that he is my son and I had exchanged. So Gargacharya said, I already know it. From
that also the stars said, or he saw it from the Jyotishan?
Yes. He already thought that this boy, he says Nanda Maharaj is not supposed to have a son. He's supposed to have a daughter. And you are supposed to have a son, not a daughter. How is this? So something dalma kala. So he figured it out. So therefore Vasudev, he went to him and he told that you please go and perform this ceremony for my two sons, Krishna and Balram. They are in Vraja under the care of my friend and cousin Nand Maharaj. So that's how he came.
This is maybe a very insignificant question, but I see sometimes here in the Bhagavatam this here as it says Nandasya Brajam. So in this context, is Braja a common noun rather than a proper noun?
How it will be common?
As in, if Braja is taken as like cow pastures or cow land, and sort of he's going to Nanda's fields or Nanda's pastures or something, as opposed to Braja being the
because
name
Vraja is, the whole area is also called Vraja. But now he's specifically going to his cow shed, so to say. So therefore he's saying Nanda's. Because Kamsa may also have his own Vraja. He also must be having some cows. So, commentary.
Papaji,
Yes.
Purohit is the same as Kulaguru?
Yes. No, both words are used.
And so Gagamuni is the Purohit for the whole Yadu dynasty.
Yes.
Yadu dynasty is quite big, so is he able to personally guide everybody? I mean, considering
Yeah. Well, they have also their children and family members. It gets divided, but he is the main person. Just like you have a university, so there is a chancellor or vice chancellor, that's what they call here. Under him there are many professors. So he is not just one person. He is like a university. That's why you see Durvasa was going with 10,000 disciples. So they used to move. There were two types of universities in India, the mobile and immobile. It's like sometimes you have mobile hospital, right, or mobile kitchens, very common in Mumbai. Near the offices they go and sell food and move.
Yeah, it's in a van actually.
Yes. So it's like that. They have their fixed ashram. They also move. So this custom was there up to recently. This was called Jamaat. So there used to be sadhus, and then the sadhus will have, around them some more young disciples, and they move. Wherever they go, they teach them. This head sadhu will be a highly learned person, and that's how India was. They don't need books so much to carry, because they remember in their heart. So they will stay, they go to some village, they will stay there 15, 20 days, sometimes 1 month, and then they teach. And then they move to some other village. They camp there. Outside the village, they will just camp. And they get their bhiksha from the village. So this was common up to 50, 60 years ago. So even my Nyaya teacher, he was telling that he used to travel sometimes in the Jamaat like this. And I've read stories like that. I was reading about some very interesting story. How there was some person, some sadhu, he stayed with his disciples there, and one man used to come every day, and then he has a young son. So he also used to come, and he liked very much, like the story of Narada Muni. He will be with the sadhus, playing, doing things. And the sadhus used to have horses, because they have to travel, so they have some of their, pots, pans, etc. So, and they'll have some tent type of things. So one day he saw that they are going to move, so he asked, Baba, where are you going? He said, now we are going to go. You want to come with us? He said, yes, I want to come. Now children are there. Out of enthusiasm, he said. And next day when they are saying, he says, you can sit on the horse. So he's sitting on the horse. And then they asked the father, give this boy to us. And the father said, okay, take. And he didn't tell the wife. And then he went, and then the wife came to know by the time they had left. So she ran here, there, but they had already gone few hours before, and she was completely crazy. Young, only one son, and he's gone with the sadhus. And she cried and cried and cried. And after some 16 or 17 years, those sadhus again came to that village. And they camped there. And he went to do bhiksha. And he had actually forgotten, because he has grown. He was very young when he came. And then he went to his own house to beg. And then when mother saw, then immediately he said, oh, you are my son. And he says, what? I'm not your son. He doesn't know that this is my village and I'm here. And he says, no, you are my son. And she was crying, and he says, you come. And says, what? I'm a sadhu, don't touch. I'm a brahmachari. And says, no, you are my son. And this whole thing, she was so sure. Because she has so much love, she immediately, although how you would recognize at that time he was just a young boy, 5-6 year old, now he was in his 20s, And then the head sadhu came and he said, yes, you are actually our son. And then he stayed back. He said, you stay with your mother, take care of. The father was dead by that time, I think. It's a very interesting story. Somebody was telling his own, later on he again became sadhu, and then he was telling the story. So that was also there, that they used to move around. So then they will also train them to do. Recently, this Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute, which was founded in 1920, they have started a 12-year course on Vyakaran, if anybody wants to join. And they're going to teach in complete traditional style. So there it was written that the head teacher will be teaching, but the senior students, they will also teach. So this was the custom, that's why I'm giving the example. That the students who learn and who are senior, they also teach to the junior students. So then you don't have to recruit people from outside to teach. Okay, so let's come back. So this is Gargacharya. So Acharya, they are also called Kulpati. You see, these days Vice Chancellor in Hindi is translated as Kulpati, but traditionally also there were Kulpatis. Those who had 10,000 students, they were called Kulpatis. Because this Gurukula word comes from the same Kulpati. Kulpati means Guru Kulpati, master chief of the Gurukula. So that's why I say it was like a university. So on the request of Vasudev, Gargacharya came to Nandasya Vraja. So Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti, he summarizes the chapter. Ashtame namakarane ringanam gavya moshanam mridbhakshanam vishwarupa darshanancha nigadyate. So in the 8th chapter, it is what is described is, first is Namakaranam, that name giving ceremony of Sri Krishna and Balaram, and then Ringanam. There, what is called Ringanam is when they walk on the knees, child. Crawling of how they played and crawled, and then Gavya Moshanam, and playing with the cows, releasing them, and Mridbhakshanam, and eating clay, that pastime. And again Vishwarupa Darshanam cha. So again second time showing the Vishwarupa Nigaddate. This is what will be described in this chapter.
So that was the first time.
That was first time. That's why that was without any cause, nirhetuka. Here there is a cause because he will be eating mud and he say that Naham bhakshitvanam sarve mithya visansina yadi satya giristarhi pasyamukham me samakshata. So then he will show again. So asurabadha prasanga sangatya eva trinavarta vadha muktva tat prachinani namakarnadini charitani anusmritya vaktam ukramate gargah purohita ityadini. So he says that asurabadha prasanga sangatya. There is one sangati called prasanga sangati. There are different types of sangati, 6 types. One is prasanga, means when some topic is coming, so then you complete that also. So he started talking about killing of asuras, so he got into that mood. Putana, then Shaktasura, then Trinavarta. So this is prasanga sangatya. Trinavarta vadha muktva. So after describing the killing of Trinavarta, then tat prachinani namakarnadini charitani anusmritya. Then he remembered that I forgot to tell the other pastimes of Krishna, such as name giving, then this playing, crawling, etc. So remembering them, he begins talking about that. So that's why there is no question from Parikshit Maharaj. Sukadeva Goswami continues himself speaking. So when he talks of this name giving ceremony now. Tam drishtva parma prita pratyuthaya kritanjalihi anarcha dhoksha dhiya pranipata purasaram. So now when he came, Nanda Maharaj was there and he saw Gargacharya coming. So he was extremely happy to see that. He says, Aho bhagyam, aho bhagyam. It's a great fortune for me that you have appeared in our house. So tam drishtva parma prita pratyuthaya kritanjali. So he immediately got up and with joined palms he respected him, he worshipped him adhoksha dhiya. So with the mind of adhokshaja, treating him like adhokshaja, like Vishnu, he worshipped him pranipata purasaram, and he fell down at his feet. So ashtanga pranam, full dandavat. Old man Nanda Maharaj is doing pranipata purasaram. So much respect. So that shows that how happy he must have been seeing him to come to his place. Because Gargacharya is not ordinary person. So he has come and he is the Acharya of Yadus, he is coming there. So it's a great honor for him also, for Nanda Maharaj. Supavishtam kritatithyam gira sunritaya munim nanditva bravid brahman purnasya karvamakim. So he made him sit down. Whatever is the protocol of receiving a great honorable Brahmana, Acharya, guest like this. So he did that, Krita Atithyam. You worship Padya, Arghya, Achmaniya, then give cow in gift. So all these things he did. And then Gira Sunritya Munim. And then he spoke nice, sweet words to him. And Nandayitva Bravid Brahman Purnasya Karvamaki. And then when he has pleased him like this, he has respected him like this, then he spoke to him with great respect that, O Brahman, you are complete in yourself. punasya. So what can I do for you? What seva I can do? There is nothing that you need, but still you have come to my house, so I am happy to receive you. Please order me what can be given to you. So this will stop here. Yes.
Could you maybe explain how he addresses him as Brahman, as just as the personification of absolute truth? Or
No,
how
this is
come
a respectable word, just like many times you see Sukadeva Goswami is called Bhagavan or Narada is called Bhagavan. It's a respectable word. Brahman is also has that meaning. It's like Bhagavan means the absolute truth. Bhagavan is also used for respect. Out of respect we call Bhagavan. This is the Gaunartha. Mukhya vritti, Gauna vritti. Just like sadhus are called Maharaj. It's great king or whatever. So this is not in the sense of Maharaj as the word is used. Anything else? All right.